Here's the bowel location again. Here's the bowel location again.
Hello, I'm Dr. Cabello.
Hi.
See you, baby. Okay, let's
Sure. My robe or my gown. You're the MD, right?
I'm sorry?
You're the MD?
Correct.
Awesome. This is Legend.
Legend. All right, Legend. Let's take a look at you.
Oh, no. Like I just got comfortable.
I know, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but I need to examine you before we can talk with your parents.
Absolutely. I know, but it's okay. It's so good. Kaylee said he's been real gassy.
Okay. What are we feeding? Are we just doing breast milk? Are we... No.
I just dropped it. Oh, I'm sorry. No, my husband has it.
Okay. All right.
It's the gentle.
Okay. Uh-huh. Okay.
What is it?
Pro-sensitive.
Pro-sensitive.
Sensitive.
The
Okay.
orange label
Okay.
Similac.
Okay. All right.
10 fingers, 10 toes.
Boy.
Thank you. Blonde hair.
All right. Yeah.
Don't worry at the man. I know. I know. Oops, sorry, my let's go on down. There we go. He's already trying to suck his thumb. My boy. Oh my God. Whole time.
All right. Let's give me a chair so I can actually sit down.
Oh, you can use this one if you like.
Oh, that's okay. I can grab this and sit down.
Let me get out of the way.
All right. Here.
Sorry.
There you go. It's good if you need it. I haven't had it.
So, do we need to close the door so we can have a private conversation? Or?
Sure. Yes, that'll be fine. If we can fit everybody in.
Oh, hello.
Hi, I'm Debbie Fletcher, the nurse practitioner.
Hi, I'm Jenna.
Yeah, she works
Nice to
with
meet
me.
you.
She actually stays here the whole day.
Oh,
I have
awesome.
several hospitals that I cover, so I kind of go around.
That's helpful.
So
Good.
I wanted to talk to you a little bit about Legend.
Yes, ma'am.
You know, yesterday they were a little bit concerned about his scores. They were a little bit high, and so the pediatrician transferred care to us so that we can follow him a little bit closer.
And we do feel like the scores that the nursery obtained were jaded and
Okay.
not.
Okay, and that's one of the reasons you're here.
Right.
Our nurses have more experience with doing those scoring and with taking care of babies that have been exposed to narcotics. And so we have nurses with very good experience. So that's one of the reasons your pediatrician wanted you here, so that we could have better documentation of what's going on.
Okay.
Okay? To tell you, to be honest with you, we don't have a lot of experience with
Kratom.
All I have is the literature that I have been researching since we found out about Legend. And so I'm basing my information on what I have. I had actually the American Academy of Pediatrics just couple of months ago published something.
Another, yeah.
And so they're starting to have more. There's a few studies with babies, not a big number of babies, but there are some.
Right.
There's some reports from Canada, and there's some reports from Asia, and I guess in those areas where they use it more.
I've got two medical studies. One from the University of Internal Medicine with India, and then Cambridge University in England.
Sure.
And they actually did like a full spectrum on all opiates and all narcotics. And what was really fascinating was that they also did include Kratom in there because it's used to treat pain, but it's not narcotic. It kind of falls into the same category because of what it's used for, but it doesn't impair you. It doesn't.
Well, there's a lot of controversy about it, as you probably know.
I do.
It has been banned in several states here in the United States.
And those states are actually the states that have just legalized marijuana. So they're collecting taxes.
Yeah,
it's all financial here.
It's a lot but we know that the components that it has can cause addiction and can show signs of withdrawal.
Right. But it's withdrawal and addiction similar to caffeine, because that's what Kratom is. It's a coffee plant. But rather than ingesting the beans,
it has different components. And again, let's go to what we need to know, because yes, there's a lot that we can discuss about it. That
I can talk about it all day.
Sure, I'm sure.
I've done so much research.
I understand. Yeah. I understand. Now, what we want to focus is legend.
Right.
And from the research that I've done, we know that babies can have withdrawal.
Right.
Withdrawal can present anywhere from day 2, is what the literature say, all the way to day 14. Most of them do present it early. And there's a few cases that they have treated for narcotic withdrawal, and those babies seem to respond to it. Most of the ones that I have in the literature that I review don't require it for too long. Even if they need treatment, the treatment is short-lived. It's not a long treatment.
Right.
But we know that they can go through withdrawal. So we want what is best for Legend. So it will be to make sure that he doesn't go through withdrawal. I don't think he needs to be observed for 14 days because most of the literature says that the symptoms are shown early, but he does need to be monitored for a little longer than just the 48 hours that he's right now. Okay?
Okay, so bottom line is you are recommending that we leave him in NICU for an extended period of time.
Yes. What we usually do is monitor them for 5 days. If by 5 days we don't see any evidence of withdrawal, then we feel comfortable with them going home and being followed by the pediatrician.
Okay. With all due respect, we've already kind of discussed what we would do in the event this was presented to us. And we do not agree with that. We would like to take our son home. I'm being discharged today.
Okay. Well, there's some issues with that. You would be going home against medical advice because we don't believe that it's safe for him to go home. And that you can, sorry, I'm talking mostly to mom. We don't believe that it's safe for him to go home, so we'll be against medical advice. Because he's a minor, I am obliged to report to CPS that we're doing an against medical advice discharge. And then CPS will have to give me the okay. And so
we'll fight it. We were just told the exact opposite by Rachel.
Well, that's maybe what she has to do. Me, as a medical professional, I have the obligation to report it.
Yeah.
Okay?
All right.
And so I have to do that. So I would have to talk with CPS, and they would have to decide if it's okay for you to take the baby or not. Okay. Some of the times they have to gather information, and so they don't allow us to discharge the baby until they have gathered the information.
So you're saying that CPS is going to hold our child hostage at this hospital until they make a ruling?
Real quick, and I'm just kind of curious, you're making a ruling based on a supplement because it's not a narcotic.
And it is completely legal. It's like coffee.
Legal here in the state of Texas.
Correct, but I know that babies can have withdrawal symptoms.
And in the
So
event,
it's medically indicated for us to monitor him.
and in the event that he does digress or start showing, extreme signs of such, we will bring him in without a moment's hesitation.
You're questioning our ability as a parent.
We have a 9.5-year-old.
I mean, we have a daughter. I mean, and that's putting our confidence into play.
I understand, but because it is against medical advice, that's what I have to do. And then it falls into CPS hands what they want to do. I don't want to do that. I hate to bring CPS involved. But
here's the bottom line, though, is that Legend should have never been brought into the NICU, and that was exactly what was determined. And when we spoke to Rachel this morning, Rachel was with us for over 2 hours between my husband and myself, and we were
unjustified targeting. All day yesterday, all day the day before, until yesterday evening, suddenly, when unfortunately wasn't here, we've been told your baby looks amazing. He's responding well to everything. Everything looks great. And then even last night, you guys, and another thing that happened, and I brought this up to several of the nurses as well, is that a lot of the side effects that you guys were listed on what was going on, he was given, and
we were told that he was going to get side effects.
A hepatitis B shot yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And he was circumcised yesterday.
Yes. Went on the CDC. Center of Disease Control, looked at side effects for the hepatitis B shot that he received. I looked at RX. It's another site that talks about side effects. And some of the things you guys were listing that he was showing, including the mark on his leg where the shot was at, and
where he had a reaction to a Band-Aid,
are the same things that you get from a Hep B shot, or can get from a Hep B shot, which has greater percentage numbers than what's shown in babies being sprayed on. Now, and I realize you're saying you're making a medical advice. We're asking you as responsible parents to not make that advice. If we see our baby quiet, we will bring our baby in.
Well, unfortunately, I've met you for 5-10 minutes. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. You can tell me you're very responsible parents, and you might not be, but I don't know. I don't know the
There's never
extent of that.
There's never been any case opened, any phone call made, any accusation, or even an angry neighbor looking for retaliation.
I understand. I'm just telling you, I can go by what the literature says, and the literature says that he can present symptoms of withdrawal, that he needs to be monitored.
And
So
we
that's
are
what I
capable of
recommend.
monitoring him.
Well,
Around the clock, 24/7, between myself, my husband, and my mother-in-law. This baby will never not have eyes on him at all times, whether he's sleeping or not.
well, again, but that is what it's not medically appropriate. If we think a child is at risk for showing signs of withdrawal.
Can we get Rachel in here? Will you go get Rachel? Will you please go get Rachel?
Yeah, I just called Rachel, so do you want me to go get her?
Yes, please.
Okay.
This is what I want for you to make a note of this. This is why people come into hospitals and they don't tell doctors the truth. This is why people lie to medical professionals, is because when you're honest and you're transparent, it doesn't do you any good.
Well, listen, the least that I would like to have to do is do a CPS withdrawal. I don't want to do it. We can monitor him for a few more days, which I know it's inconvenient, but that way he'll go home
But
safe.
in Collin County, they take babies from parents.
I understand.
I know, they take them and they investigate later.
Well, that's what I said. I want to do what's safe for him. The safest thing would be for him to stay here.
But we were also told that he should have never been put in here in the first place.
Well, he had higher scores.
Because the girl that was doing the
I
testing...
understand, but your pediatrician did not feel comfortable taking care of your baby. And he asked us to take over the care so that we could monitor him better. Okay?
At the advice of the nurse that was in the...
A nurse, not a doctor.
He wasn't here to actually make that call.
That ruling.
Oh, yes, but that's why he wanted to get us involved so that we can get better information, better documentation, and come up with a better plan.
I've had nurses and doctors all saying how beautiful and how great he is.
He looks great. I just know that he's at risk for withdrawal. He might not show it now, and he might be different tomorrow, or might be different in 48 hours from now.
According to the staff here at this hospital, though, he was showing signs of withdrawal yesterday, when that wasn't the fact at all.
Well, and that's why we brought
So
you here,
if that
so
was,
that we could document better if he's really having withdrawal or
if he wasn't legitimately showing signs of withdrawal, though, and he was forced into the NICU for y'all to monitor and observe him.
A few bad cases of diarrhea, and
they switched his formula.
They switched his formula yesterday. He went through 2 traumatic experiences yesterday, not to mention.
I understand, and that's why we're going by the scores that we have here.
2.
But
2?
Correct, they're not low. But what I'm telling you
they're
is
not low.
They are low. They are low. What I'm saying is that we need to observe him here for several days to make sure that he's not going to withdraw. I'm not going
I respectfully disagree.
by what they said before, because you have things that you think happened at that time, and yes, he had his circumcisions, he has the hepatitis B vaccine. Yes, that happened then. We brought you here. Your scores here have not been high, which is great, but he's only 48 hours. Those scores can change over the next few days.
So when you say a total of 5 days, is that including the time he's already been here? Or are you adding 5 days on top?
Additional.
No. I'm talking about 5 days of life. So you're talking about 3 more days.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
So
and we would be responsible to pay for it at this point, because we would be authorizing it.
How much does the NICU cost? I mean, I need to know that as well. I mean, we're cash clients. I don't have insurance.
Okay.
So, I mean, are you guys going to bankrupt us with this? I mean, so.
I think we need to get an attorney. Please call your stepdad. Please call your stepdad. Don't just look at me. Please call your stepdad.
And Rachel's coming. She was just grabbing a few IVs as well.
My only option through my pregnancy was to take Kratom or to take Oxycontin, fentanyl, and Zohydro.
I understand.
And the difference between the side effects of Kratom versus all the opiates that I was prescribed to take are night and day. I never would have exposed my son or any child to anything.
I understand.
And I took far less than what the recommended doses of Kratom. So it doesn't breach the placental wall, and it would not affect him.
Well, I don't know that. Again, I don't have evidence.
Do y'all do this to people who drink coffee or caffeine?
Well,
no, it's a yes or no question. Do you do this to people who drink coffee and caffeine?
Kratom is not.
It is coffee plant. It is a coffee
I'm going by
plant.
the literature
The actual molecular structure is coffee. It is a caffeine plant.
Again, I'm going by what I read because I don't, like I said, I'm not knowledgeable of this medication. I'm going by the literature that I trust tells me about. And so what I know from this literature is that he can present withdrawal. Yes, it's not as severe as it is.
If it's abused, absolutely. I've never abused. I didn't even abuse the medication that was prescribed by my pain management doctor when I broke my back 2 years ago. And that's the whole reason why I take anything in the first place. It's because I can't walk without medication.
I understand, but, all that aside, is he can present symptoms of withdrawal. You agree with me? Because
no, I don't.
Well,
based on the amount that I took throughout my pregnancy and being a responsible adult, making sure not to exceed, there was not enough alkaloids to breach the placental wall so that it would affect him or cause anything to him. So no, I disagree with your statement completely.
Sorry.
Legend to be safe, right? I want
No,
Legend
I
to be
want
safe.
Legend out of this hospital because it has been a nightmare since I was in the recovery room. I have been completely transparent and honest with everybody in this hospital, and I feel like that y'all have used that against me. So no, I don't feel like he's safe here. I feel like y'all are going to make jaded decisions and do whatever you want. No, I want him transferred. If it comes down to a judge saying that he's going to have to stay in the NICU for 5 days, I want him transferred to another facility.
Well, we're going to have to look into that again. What I'm telling you is what I have to do is...
No, you know what? You don't have to do anything. It is a choice.
It is no. You're putting my
Not
license...
not according to the doctors that were in my room this morning.
Well, I don't know who was in your room this morning. I'm the pediatrician, the neonatologist.
No, you are not the pediatrician. That's just it.
I'm the neonatologist.
Dr. Reyes is the pediatrician that we interviewed and that we hired.
Correct, but his partner was the one that transferred care to us.
Without my authorization.
Well, that you have to discuss with him.
Again, though, it was not authorized.
Okay, well, right now, I'm the person responsible for Legend.
Well, you were never given permission by the parents.
Well, it's a medical transfer. It was a medical necessity.
Was he not breathing? Was his heart palpitating and not beating like it was supposed to?
No.
Well, then, if it was not, then the Good Samaritan law does not apply here.
It's not that. Your physician, your doctor, transfer care to us. It's a physician
Without
to physician.
my authorization, without the father's authorization.
It was medically indicated at that time. The pediatrician.
Again, though, the Good Samaritan law, in order for y'all to do whatever y'all want to do, does not apply here.
Okay. Well, anyway, I am the responsible physician right now. Okay? And I cannot let him go home right now, so you would have to be leaving against medical advice.
Okay.
I would have to report that.
Then I'm going to find another pediatrician, because while I appreciate your time and your services, and you coming in without our permission to take care of our child when he was not dying or in any harm of taking his last breath, I would like to relieve you of your services.
Okay, I would still have to do a CPS report. Okay, so I'll proceed with that, and then we'll go from there. Okay.
I just relieved her of her services. Reyes transferred care without our authorization. And the Good Samaritan law doesn't apply here because he was not dying.
He was not what?
Dying.
Well, it was a medical transfer.
Where's Rachel at?
Care transfer to us. And so I'm the responsible physician at this time. And, I'm trying to come up with a plan that we all can agree with. Mom doesn't seem to agree.
Well, she wants to keep him here for an additional period of time. And if it comes down to us having to keep him in a NICU, the last NICU I want him staying at is this one.
I'll say that because some of the nurses around have been good.
The end result has not come through at any point in time as it has been conveyed in advance. They tell us what we want to hear, and then we're sitting here being told that the exact opposite and our worst fears are coming true. Every single time.
I don't want to do a report. It's that I would like to not have that on the table. But you're forcing me because you're making me do something that I don't think is safe for Legend.
We do have a right to take our child.
Yes, but I have the obligation to report to CPS.
If CPS wishes to come and investigate us and talk to us,
You're not getting it. CPS will take Legend.
there's no guarantee on that.
I don't know what CPS is. It's out of my hands once I get CPS.
If they take him, I will file for divorce.
Okay. I think that
I'm tired of you not listening to me.
hold on. I think that
Where is Rachel?
Rachel's wanting to talk to you.
Okay.
And also, I think get quality involved.
Where is
Right
she?
outside. She just told me.
Please tell her to come in here.
Hey, Rachel.
Well, Mom wanted you to come in.
I'm gonna talk to her. Okay? You're good. I'm not good. I know, but I'm gonna talk. We're gonna talk, and we'll figure it out. Okay?
Rachel is the one. Rachel is the one that told me.
Does it feel like it?
Rachel's the one that told me that that's the course of action.
That's what?
That's probably the best course of action, that they can't hold a baby.
No, but CPS can. They will get an emergency injunction against them.
There's no reason for CPS to give you
There's
a
nothing illegal.
She just said she's making a report to CPS.
but you're not neglecting your
We're
child.
not neglecting our
We are leaving against medical advice.
That happens all the time in the ER. They do it all the time.
But it's not from the ICU.
But there's no
Wait, hold on. Let's listen to her, please. Baby, please. Okay, I'll do whatever it is you're wanting to do. You know,
I want to get an attorney.
okay.
Take a deep breath. You take a deep breath.
They're getting their legal department to talk to the doctor. Okay? Okay. Alright. I didn't come in here and just say that. Because, alright?
Rachel's speaking with the doctor, and she's going to call. We have a head neonatologist. Her recommendation is that we contact him
Get a
and ask
second
for a
opinion.
second opinion.
I actually asked for that as well.
Yes,
Can we get a
and
second
that's
opinion?
what she's asking. So she's speaking to her, and then we're going to take it to Dr. Zhang, get his opinion, and try and get him not to have her call CPS.
Okay.
Because it's not like he's age of 17 and y'all are saying, we're just, even if he's your baby, if you don't want to give him medication that's not life-threatening, that's not our job to say you.
Well, we don't give him Kratom. That's the whole thing. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like we're giving
It
him.
took far less than the threshold to breach the placenta.
Very well educated on this subject, and honestly, we don't know anything about it. So I feel like, and that's your fault. People drink alcohol every day while they're pregnant sometimes, and we don't do anything to them.
So when I asked her, I said, do y'all do this to people that drink coffee when they're pregnant?
No.
And do this to people that drink Mountain Dew and caffeine when they're pregnant? It's the same thing.
And if you've ever seen the young mom who smokes every day, it's terrible for them too.
And you've watched him.
I was giving him scores of 2. That's why I told him. I'm confused. I don't understand what's happening. But as soon as she said, I didn't know she was going to say that when she came in here. So I apologize. Or I would have come in and spoken to you first. As soon as she said that she wanted to call CPS, I was like, I got to call Rachel. So that's why I stepped out. Just to call her.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll get it figured out. We're going to get this figured out. And CPS can't take your baby for no reason.
I give medical advice. They will.
What Rachel was saying out there, and she said, obviously, anything can happen. They will probably come over and assess the situation.
But if you've got a doctor standing right there, I mean, while I'm more educated on freedom than her, I don't have a medical license. So my word against the doctor, nobody's going to listen to me.
And if we have to get an attorney, we'll get an attorney too. I promise you that. Okay? Alright. Okay?
I understand you're scared.
I've never had to deal with CPS, and everybody that I have ever known that has had CPS called on them, whether it was a malicious neighbor or a legitimate fall or a legitimate something is wrong and the CPS needed to have been called. Once they are in your life, you can't ever get them out. And from everything that I have seen and seen on the news lately about Collin County and CPS is that they take children and place them first, and then they investigate. They don't come and investigate with the child still in the parents' care.
We have another option to leave her here. You don't have to stay. I mean, we can come back and visit. We have perfect visitation, right? mean,
But let's.
But they are holding him hostage at that point.
Y'all want to do first.
let's see what happens with them talking.
We're not trying to make you negotiate at this point. Let's hold on.
They should have never brought him in here in the first place. It was that jaded nurse. And all of them talking about me losing my shit that night.
She got really upset when she was in pain.
Nobody was listening to me.
Take a deep breath. We're going to figure this out.
We'll do whatever we gotta do, okay? Whatever you want, we'll do.
Y'all are going to do what y'all need to do.
You should call your stepdad.
Okay. And Rachel came up and started talking to me, and I got off the phone with him. I can call him back.
I'm not saying I'm going to talk.
What's that?
I'm not saying you just look at it if you need me, okay? Thank you. I mean, I know you don't like it, but I know.
After this entire scenario, I don't want to leave him here.
I understand.
I was upset when you came to the room and left him in
I
here.
understand. Hold on, let's talk. I got him on speaker. Yeah. Right now, Rachel is talking to the doctor. They're out in the hallway talking back and forth.
And legal is out there too.
Even the nurse that did the last two inspections is like shocked that the doctor decided to go the way that she did, and she said she doesn't understand it. She's saying that if we leave, we're leaving against medical advice, which means that she will file a report with DCS. What is this?
It's CPS, Child Protective Services.
Child Protective Services.
Okay, well, if it comes down to they can't turn this doctor around, you need to have that doctor in writing, provide you with a medical justification for holding that baby in NICU for an additional 3 days. In other words, you want to just tell them that you need that for the record for potential future legal action because you believe that they're holding the baby. And the other thing I would say is, does this mean that you're going to go ahead and pay for these extra days? Since you're the one saying that it has to be done, you know? I mean, the bottom line is if you leave, if you leave without against medical advice, then you're taking a big chance. So probably the better bet is to leave the baby and to basically fight the billing later on. Jenna gets out of there, the baby stays in.
But after
later on.
But after everything that has transpired at this hospital, I don't feel comfortable leaving him here at this facility. I want his care transferred.
Stay up here 24 hours a day.
I think that the baby will be fine now. I think that the standard of care, particularly in the NICU, is probably just fine. So I wouldn't that I would not worry about. What I would worry about is because think of the major trauma of trying to transfer that baby to another hospital. I mean, I don't think that's an option. So
demand it in writing on why.
Demand it in writing specifically as to why you believe this baby needs to stay in, because he's gotten good scores on the last 2 or 3 of those evaluations. So if he's thinking that baby, and then you can maybe go after him for the hospital bill.
It's her.
It's her. Okay, so right now they are talking to the doctor. They're going to get their legal department just to see, and they're trying to convince her not to. And they're also talking about getting a second opinion, but the second opinion will not go against. It's just a second opinion. You see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, remember, hospitals are incredibly risk averse. So, I mean, what they're doing is they're afraid they're going to be held liable if the baby gets released, which is why they'll do the protect. This is all risk avoidance.
All right, they're coming back in. I'll talk about it.
In writing specifically why they want to keep that baby for 3 additional days in there. I mean, that's a requirement. Okay.
All right.
Call me if you need to.
Okay. Here we go. I can do one or two things. Okay? Catch your breath. Okay? I told you I would support you. Okay? Take a deep breath. And we'll work through this. Okay? Okay. So here's the option. Okay? So I get where she's coming from. If you sign out an infant, that's why they do it. It doesn't matter who you sign out. I could have my 10-year-old boy, and if I signed him out the AMA, then they would probably report me as well. It doesn't matter. Okay? The logistics on that. I didn't know that myself. I figured a parent could do whatever they want. Didn't realize that's the liability they have. What we can do, Dr. Reyes is who you picked as a pediatrician. I can call Dr. Reyes, ask him if he will take over care. If he will take over care and allow you to be discharged home and follow up with him.
I will bring him every day. We live right next door to his office.
That's not. Take a deep breath.
That'll be great.
I promise.
Let's
We'll work it out. Okay? And then we'll see if he'll do that. If he'll do that, then we will transfer care back to him and he will be discharged home. Okay? So that's our first plan. Okay? The second thing that we can do is I can call the medical director of the NICU and get a second opinion. It may be across the board. Any pediatrician, if they're recommending care, any neonatologist, if they're recommending care, if that is their required, we're not going to get out of that piece.
But the whole thing
But
is,
she's saying that if we transfer care back to our pediatrician, that she would go along with that.
Yes.
Let's do that.
That's if Reyes will accept him back.
That's if Reyes will accept him back.
Okay.
Okay.
Will you please, when you talk to him, tell him that Legend has scored as he's supposed to?
I will.
What doesn't make any sense is this.
And that's what I told her.
We had a high rating yesterday, and it kind of came down
It was.
last night.
It feels like it was jaded.
Here's the thing. With these babies, talking to her, with these babies that are on, because I guess there's been some literature come out with the babies that the moms have taken Kratom. There's not a whole lot of it, but there is some literature that has come out about it that said that yes, these babies can cross over, and they can kind of go through a withdrawal.
Then they were abusing Kratom.
Right. But, that's kind of what everybody has to go off of, okay? Because there's not a whole lot with it. So, but she did say some babies will put off a high score and then they'll put off, like they don't have a really bad reaction to it. Some of them they have it really quick and then they're fine. Some of them are fine and then they have a reaction. Obviously his score this morning was a 2.
Twice.
Yes, his score last night was higher, but maybe he went through his phase last night and now he's leveled out.
Well, and he had the hep shot shot yesterday. He had a circumcision yesterday. I didn't hold him for more than 90 minutes all day yesterday because I trusted the nursery to take care of him.
Sweetheart, it's not that the nursery did not take care of him.
But I had a stigma from the point that I lost it the first night. And at that point, it was just a running joke, or everybody was just had a predisposition about me. I literally, that is how I was made to feel.
You're supported. Okay? All that's done. Okay? You're completely supported. We'll figure this out.
Let's figure it out.
Okay?
Let's go with option number 1. Let's see what happens.
You want me to talk to Dr. Reyes?
Yes, please.
You want me to do that?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Will you please tell him that he is
even if they have to go, I will. I promise. Even if they have to call, you guys, CPS could say, hey, we'll assess this. She can go home. They could go either way with this, okay? CPS has a lot on their hands. This is very minor.
I've not heard very good things lately, including from the news about Collin County. and CPS.
I'm never here, so I don't get to watch.
I've actually got it on my phone. I actually recorded one of the segments on Fox News because what they did to a family very similar to this, where they took a child, a newborn, out of the parents' care and kept that baby for 6 months.
That's not.
Babe, I'm
That's
going to be
not
happy.
gonna happen. Okay.
Jenna, if let's go with plan 1. If that doesn't work, we'll go with what my dad said, and we'll keep him here. And that's
Here's the thing.
If he does stay in the NICU, am I able to transfer his care to another pediatrician? Because one, I never authorized Reyes to transfer care.
With that, Reyes is not a neonatologist.
Right.
So it automatically goes to a neo.
Okay, but
Any
he was.
baby
But
that
at
comes
the
in.
at that point, though, but doesn't it seem like, and I don't know, because I will be happy to pull it up and I'll read the actual legislation on it. But the Good Samaritan law, in a situation like that, where a medical team makes executive decisions for a patient, whether it's a minor or an adult, is only allowed or authorized to do so in the event that the child is in, or the person, the patient, is in medical need. They are dying.
But
it was not the case yesterday.
and it's
So
not
it was
the case, and nothing was done. Okay,
but the care was transferred without my authorization.
The care has not been transferred. Okay, it's the fact that you're in a neonatal ICU, so you have to have a neonatal. You have to have a neonatologist take care of that baby. Okay, Dr. Reyes has never not been the baby's doctor, but this is out of Dr. Reyes's realm.
But he may be able to.
Okay, but if he's willing, due to the scores, to take Legend back and say, yes, I will take on Legend, and she can follow up with me on a daily basis and every other day basis, that's his choice, then we will do that. You can't have any pediatrician see a baby in the NICU. Okay? It's not that nobody's taking over the care. This is a specialty. And his specialty, that's out of his realm. So that's the only thing. Because even when we discharge you, it's not this doctor that's taking care of you.
No.
You would go back to Dr. Reyes.
Right.
Okay? So this doctor, these doctors in here, are only with you during your time here.
Okay.
They don't ever see you outside of here. Okay? Dr. Reyes is always still. So let me go make a call to Dr. Reyes. Let's see how he feels. I'll let him know what he was today and how he's done. He's fed well, everything. So let me report that to him. And if he says yes,
thank you.
then we're all good.
Thank you, Rachel.
Okay.
I'm sorry. No,
I want you to take a deep breath. Okay? We will get through this. Whichever way we have to get through it, we'll get through it. Okay? Okay. Let me go see what I can do. I've already talked to Quality. She's on the same line that I am. So we're going to do, we'll kind of go from there. Worst case scenario, if Dr. Reyes says no, that he doesn't feel comfortable with that, then
Remember, she said 5 days.
you only got 3 more to go,
Well,
right?
actually,
Or is she saying 5 more?
No,
5 total.
5
5
total.
days of life.
5 days of life. We're actually on day 3. Well, going into day 3 now. So yeah, we're day 2, day 3.
2.5. Yeah.
So even if we had to just stay here and just assess him, if we stay here and assess him, that's the recommended care. CPS is not called. Okay?
Let's go with option 1
option
first, and
1.
see what happens.
And then if we have to, then
We'll go.
we don't even,
And-
CPS never has to be called.
She can camp out in this chair.
Yes.
We're not ever closed.
We're never closed.
We don't close.
So,
You can stay here. I'll put you in a room. Even if you're discharged, you can be. If he stays and you stay, you're not going home tonight. You stay on so you can get the care that you
Poor
need for tonight.
Paisley, and we have a 9-year-old at home that is
we
freaked out about all
we
of
got
this too.
grandparents.
Okay,
Grandparents.
You seem to have really good support at home.
She's got her grandparents there. She'll be fine.
And let Paisley come up. She can't come in here. I mean,
Right.
due to it being.
But she can't see her brother at all.
And only for a few more days. It'll be okay.
We can always take it through the nursery window too. Like
I was gonna say,
the window.
we can show Paisley.
Yeah.
Kaylee can let him go over. We need to figure this out.
Thank you.
Okay?
Yeah. All right.
I want you to take a deep breath, and trust me, we'll figure it out. It may not be the route that you guys wanted it to go, but we'll figure it out.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome. Let me go call Dr. Reyes. I'll let you know what he says, and then we'll kind of go from there. If he doesn't, let's just plan to hang out with us for 3 more days. CPS will never be
No,
called.
I'm going to be here with you too the whole time. Okay.
We got this.
Be here with you.
All right, let me go see what I can do, and I'll come back.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
So he kind of ate. He snacked a bunch. But I would say maybe around like 2 o'clock, if he's not awake, if y'all want to wake him up, change his diaper, and offer him another bottle.
Okay.
And then if he doesn't eat, then he doesn't eat because he's kind of snacked a bunch.
Yeah.
So, but definitely would try and see if he'll eat around 2.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Kaylee.
Yeah. And like she said, we will figure this out.
We'll get through this.
And
We'll
if
get
you
through
do have to stay with us for 3 more days, we'll make it work. But I understand your concern too. You're saying we're cash pay, then what? To stay for 5 more days, or 3 more days, not 5 more days. So,
Well, again, we didn't authorize.
You know what? If we paid $5 a month for the rest of our lives,
It doesn't work like that, Joel.
it will.
It does not work like that. They turn you into collections over that stuff.
Wow.
When you call to pay out a final bill, they'll give you a discount. And then if you're not able to make the full
I
payment,
pay
they
$10
break
a
it
month
into
on my
the
bill
third.
for having my baby here. I literally pay $10 a month on it.
We'll see.
And when I
we'll
can pay a
take
chunk,
care
I
of
pay
it,
a
okay?
chunk.
We will take care of it.
I mean, honest to God, money is not an issue. It's life. It's our baby.
Right.
But I feel like it just, at this point, it's about capitalizing on the situation, or
But the hospital isn't the doctor.
And I also understand you do feel like control was also taken away from you guys.
Yeah.
Like what you wanted for your baby and your intentions for your baby were taken away from you.
And the hospital is advocating on our behalf on this. So
We are.
Yeah. I mean,
We are.
so this doctor that comes in, she said when she first sat down, I go to a bunch of different hospitals.
Yeah. She's not super familiar to me. And like I said, if I would have known she was going to say anything about CPS, we would have discussed this before we came in here. And that was not discussed with me. So I did not know that, and I'm sorry y'all were blindsided by that. I apologize.
it's alright, it's not your fault.
We all just want what's best for you guys. So we'll figure it out. Y'all have every right to be upset. Don't
Hopefully.
hyperventilate, please.
Hopefully our doctor will do the right thing.
Dr. Reyes seemed real laid back about it yesterday, so I don't know if he's, you know what I mean? I don't think he's super concerned. You know, as far as
He didn't say anything to us about it yesterday.
That's the whole thing. Yeah, I mean,
And he came in, he was like, hey, yeah, he looks great. Yeah, it was beautiful.
yeah.
He's right on point. His APGAR test was, yeah. He was like, well, see you in about a week or 2.
Yeah.
Just call and make an appointment.
Okay. And he may even say that. He may say, yeah, I'll take the care. Yeah, I'll discharge him home, and I'll see him in a week. Like, it may not be that big a concern for him. It's just dependent upon, you have to realize, too, our doctors specialize in premature babies and very sick babies. So they're hyper-focused on that type of thing. And we do see babies that are addicted to pain medication, and we do have to treat them, and they're here for months on end. So that's what they're used to. So your pediatrician may not be as concerned as long as he's having good scores and say, best case scenario, he'll say you can go home and he'll see you in a couple days. Worst case scenario, he'll be here with us for a few days.
and I'll be right here with you. All right? I'll be right here with you.
But let's not even think about CPS. Let's
I'll
not
pitch
even
a tent,
think about them
pitch a
taking our
tent,
baby
throw
from
down a sleeping bag, and we'll be right here together. All right?
Rachel said she'd get me a room if it came to that.
Yes. We'll figure it out.
Too.
I'm going to go to lunch. Elizabeth and Amy are out here. If y'all need anything, they can come grab me. Okay?
So bad.
What?
I said my head is throbbing so bad now.
I've got Tylenol.
I got blindsided by this.
We both did.
No, I never remembered to turn in. You want me to go turn in that envelope with the birth certificate?
Yeah. Do it quickly and come back, please.
They're still out there battling.
Huh?
They're still out there. I don't know. Like just somebody else.
Battling? What do you mean? I recorded that whole interaction.
Okay, I got your pen. I'm on a feed.
Thank you.
I sent out a text. He didn't respond. I'm sure he's in clinic. So as soon as I hear something, then I'll come back and let you know.
Okay, thank you, Rachel.
You're welcome. Hey, we will get through this, okay? I know you don't want to spend any more time with me, but maybe you just get to spend some more days with me.
It's not you. It's
Since we just made you be friends. Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hungry. There we go. This way.
Oh, good girl.
Here we go. That's what we wanted. It's easier when your hands aren't in the way, huh? It makes it easier when your hands aren't in your mouth. Oh. Yes, it does. Hey, bright eyes. Where the hell is the page button at for the room? Oh. I know. I don't know where the page is at, Bubba. I don't know where it is. Do you have a Cassie? I have no idea where his went.
Does he have a cart in here?
He does, but I just had it, and I have no idea where it's at. I know, Bubba. I know, love. I've been keeping a hold of it, but I have no pockets anywhere.
Jump right out of bed all the time.
Oh my goodness.
Trying to keep. There we go.
What's your name?
I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Jenna.
Nice to meet
Nice
you.
to meet you.
And we should hopefully
I'm sure it'll come up.
actually in his bottom for us.
Oh.
Okay. Yes, he has at least one extra, so just in case.
Bless you.
Because for us, they jump like right onto the bed, onto the floor.
They're like gold, too.
Yes,
Oh, thank you. Open, please.
Okay.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Oh, God.
I'm ready to do all the customers. So you gotta stay though for a little longer. Okay?
Bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I don't know if you'll hang out here or once she's gonna talk to him. So I don't know if we'll hang out here or if we'll transfer back to nursery and then he can go out to the room with y'all and I can hang out in the room. He'll be part of, won't be over though until after he finishes clinic. So once he finishes clinic, he'll come over, he'll sex baby, and then he'll give a discharge order. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Just look at the positive. Take a deep breath.
Thank you.
Okay? Okay. You're welcome. Call me if anything else is up today.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Look at that diet. Snack tags. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm show you what I did with that other passy. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? That doesn't feel very good, does it? Oh, whoa. pretty smile.